It's that time of year, springtime. I think we just hit spring yesterday, which the temperatures, they don't really reflect it. But we do have like 21 days to do this, so I think it's gonna warm up in that period of time, and I hope it does. But we're gonna be setting some eggs in the incubator today and hopefully filling it. I did start saving a couple days ago. We've been getting anywhere from roughly, I wanna say 12 to 18 a day. So it doesn't take long to get enough to fill the incubator. This is a cheaper incubator. It's not like a super expensive one, but this is basically what I've been using for the last couple years, and it actually seems to work really well. So this is what we're gonna use again, and it used to be actually a double stacker. It used to be 2 tiers, and unfortunately I think I have more pieces and turners, and I actually had 2 of these at one time, so I could set, I believe, approximately 112 eggs. Now this one I think is either, I want to say it's 58 eggs, or 56, sorry. So one of the other ones I had was 48, and it does look like we may end up having to clean some of that stuff in there. So I got it clean, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe that is 56 eggs. So I know I have more than that right now. So we'll probably try and pick the best ones. If we have dirty ones and stuff like that, we won't throw them in there. This can actually come off right now, and you can see this did have for double turners. This isn't super expensive. I think I got this thing off Amazon, but I've gotten it like, a long time ago. So it definitely could be better. Everything does separate. Trays come out. This all separates, comes off from the bottom. You can literally take everything apart. So the workbench here kind of area is full of stuff, storage, everything else. But I do have this shelf down here, and I think that's gonna work really well to put our incubator in for the time being. It should fit perfect. So we're just gonna basically place them all in here, and you always wanna put them, pointed end down, and obviously inspect them for cracks, so on and so forth, kind of common sense things. And you can also candle them if you need to. But we have some different variety of chickens out there. We got some white eggs, some blue eggs. So it's kind of gonna be cool to see how they do turn out, what, colorations we get. So there's 1 dozen. And again, if you don't have any visible cracks, they definitely will show up, when it comes time for you to candle. So here's a perfect example of one that has a crack in it. And you can kind of see it right there. You see that little bit of discoloration, and there's just a hairline crack right there. And it's really hard to see, but you can actually see it's like spiderwebbed a little there. So this egg is no good. That won't do anything for us. So just something to kind of pay attention to. So now that we got all 56 eggs in there, and we got some whites in there, not a whole lot, but we got some. We obviously have more brown layers than we do, whites or blues or anything like that. So, and some of them may not all be fully laying yet, but at this point, we can move this over to the shelf, get the controller plugged in. We obviously got to make sure we plug our turner in. This does have automatic turners. And you got to make sure that all that stuff is out of the way of the turners as well. So now we got everything popped up. It does obviously run in Celsius. Unfortunately, I don't really care for that too much, but it is what it is. And you just have to kind of convert it. I think it runs, it's been a very long time, but I think it's like 37.6 or 37, something like that, 37.7. So I tried that numerous times, but it was obviously the turner button, and you can push that turn button anytime you want. So if we hit our temperature sensor here, or our settings button, 37.7 is where we have it set, and usually it hangs around 37.6, 37.7. It also depends on where you have it. And I've noticed too, I do have styrofoam, but that was for the other incubator, and it doesn't really work the best. So I found if I wrap a blanket or something around this, it tends to hold, you know, both humidity and heat in there a little bit better. And usually I put it out in the garage where it's warm, you know, during the summer, but obviously it's still cold outside, so we can't really do that. So the basement was the next best thing. And I'll probably wrap something around it just to try and keep some heat in there better. But as soon as that gets up to, you know, 37.7, we'll just monitor it a little bit longer. And this humidity, I think I'm gonna try and do a dry hatch, because any other time I've always added water in here. And I think from here on out, I think I'm just gonna try and do a dry hatch. I don't know if it's gonna work any better, but I've heard people having more and higher hatch rates doing a dry hatch than doing, you know, the standard humidity, and you gotta put water in it all the time. So we're gonna try a dry hatch and see what happens, see if it's any better. It can't really hurt. It's definitely taking a little while to come up to temperature. I mean, it started low, it's gotta heat all the eggs. But I did take basically our hammock that was hanging down here for the winter and wrap that around. Hopefully that'll hold in, you know, some of that heat. And that temperature should continue to rise. It's been holding at 35.2 here for a little bit, so hopefully it does come back up. 37.7 is where we have it set. So like I said, it does have to heat everything else in there. In the meantime, while that does that, we're gonna head out to the goats now. And that's basically the second part of this video, is we need to get the goats moved around so they can be bred. And usually I try and do that to where they're together, you know, during the winter, and that didn't really work out this year. I had different thoughts on moving them. If you watched, it was a video a while ago, I did prep one of the locations outside in the kennel to move a pair out there. But again, now I don't think we're gonna have to do that. I'm kind of going a different route. So we'll head out there and see if we can get them moved. It should be super easy because we just have to kind of flip-flop around, and that's basically it. And then we'll leave them there for about 2 months just to make sure that the females go through at least one heat cycle. And I'm kind of being able to track the one doe because she is going through a heat cycle. She actually went in and she was in heat, I believe 2 days ago. So unfortunately, we missed that window and we should have had them together then, but it is what it is. We'll get them moved now, and hopefully, you know, we'll have some goat kids later in the year. And it's actually really nice out. It was supposed to be cloudy all day today, and it's like 60 some degrees. Everything's really starting to green up, and I'm sorry if you missed one of the previous videos where we got the garden patch ready to go and the other plots ready to go on the hill. Be sure to check that out. That was a lot of fun doing that. And if you missed, I believe it's the last video where we got ourselves a tractor, make sure you check that one out too. Basically, this is our buck pen, and all this stuff's kind of temporary because obviously, you know, I didn't want to make anything permanent. So we got all of our does over here, and I know exactly how I want to do it. So the black one right there, we're basically going to breed with Ginger here, and I'm pretty much just going to bring her over and then put him over with Zara here, and then Macy back there. So we'll let him with both of them and then flip-flop. So it shouldn't be too bad. And then, yeah. It shouldn't be too bad. However, as soon as you open the gate or they have any like inkling that they can get out, they will try and they will basically run you over, and it's really hard to contain them. Especially, it's more so the bucks trying to get over like into the doe pen. If you open that gate, they will try their hardest. Unless you have food here, they will try their hardest to get over there, and it can really suck to try and, you know, not let that happen. I see one of the boards down there actually is broke now, so hopefully they can't really fit through there. What's up, buddy? Well, here goes nothing. I guess we're gonna see what happens. Yep, that's fine. You go in there. And you come over here. That worked out really well. Well, that didn't take long. I don't know that she wants any part of it yet. She does look like she might be flagging a little. He is trying way too hard over here. And she just went out of heat here recently. So Ginger back there has really, you know, not ran away from him at all. And she's kind of like flagging. So, and he's actually like really trying to kind of get over here too. So she may actually be in heat right now, which would kind of be ironic because what are the chances that we hit that perfectly? I have no idea about them. Czar was just in heat like 2 days ago, so he's really aggressive. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Definitely gonna watch him for a little bit. I think he successfully bred her once. And if this doesn't work out with them all together, we may just have to wait until I can sense that they're in heat and then, you know, bring them back over and see that way. But I really like them to go through 2 heat cycles because then you're almost guaranteed to, you know, maybe end up with a pregnant doe. I know what's going to happen. He's going to keep headbutting this thing, and he already kind of did. He started to pop this board off. And he's gonna end up popping them all off, and then they're gonna be able to get over here, and that we cannot have. So I don't know what we're gonna have to do here. Unfortunately, I don't know that this is really gonna work the way I was hoping. I was hoping to keep them all down here in the barn, but because of the skids being the way they are, and you can see they just keep kind of headbutting back and forth. Hi, girl. That one right there is all but popped out. And a few more hits from him, he's going to knock that right off. And it's going to allow easy access for everybody to, you know, intertwine and go back and forth. And we can't have that because, you know, the other brown one Czar over there is actually, he's her dad. So I can't have any of that going on, and I want to be able to track who's bred with who. So unfortunately, I think these two are going to have to go up in the kennel, which is where we prepared before. Unfortunately, I just think that's going to be better because I don't want to risk, you know, and then I can let this whole thing open for them because they're not ready to breed yet. So he's really chasing them around, and, you know, they can kind of get in a bigger area. So I think that's going to be better off. Yeah, that was a chore. We got them up here. My goodness. Oh. So I originally opened the gate for them to come out, for those two to come out, and their other buck jumped the whole entire, you know, fence right over and came running out. And yeah, I really hate to have them in here just because I would love to have them out here in pasture, but if I let them out here in pasture, this stuff will never grow because they'll eat it as fast as it comes up. And like, we're getting buds and stuff on here, and they'll eat all that too. So I really don't want to put them out here yet. You can hear they're talkative in here. And it's probably gonna be a little different for them for a few days because they are used to being, you know, with each other. And we're gonna take some hay up there to them, open this gate for the rest of them, and if this will even open because it's so... Now that I opened it up and I did feeding, he has been a lot, he calmed down a lot more since. So, like, he still obviously does look at him and stick his tongue out and make noises, but he's not like, you know, super crazy like he was earlier. So I think it'll be all right. I'm just gonna obviously keep monitoring him. And I could put some more hay over in this feeder, that way they can kind of separate if they want to, but he definitely calmed down. I think he wore himself out, got tired and hot, and so we'll go check on the other ones. They're good. Chickens are going nuts. And now we're up to 37.7, right where we need to be. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do a dry hatch, so I'm not gonna put any water in there until obviously like day 18, day 19. But that should work. Wrap that around, it should hold the heat. And we had 6 extra eggs here, which some of them were dirty, so I obviously chose the best ones and one was cracked. So you always wanna make sure you have extra. So we'll probably just throw these away. And we got the goats taken care of, finally. That was a fiasco. But anyway, everything should be rolling and set. We do have to breed rabbits here sometime soon, so hopefully maybe one of the next videos we can accomplish that. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out some of the past content, and there's a ton more coming. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.